All right, so I'm Rick Gannon. I'm going to be taking David Brown, my client, through the functional movement screen. So first we're going to start with the deep squat test. So the purpose of the deep squat test is to assess total body mechanics and symmetry of the lower body, testing hip, ankle, and knee mobility. So if you can come over here to in front of this, just back for you. So you place your heels against this box, and then you place the bar overhead. Let's grab it with our elbows 90 degrees, and then we'll press up. So now, keeping your upper body rigid, we're going to squat down as low below parallel and hold that. All right, and then you come back up. And you give me one more squat. All right, so since his upper body is a little bit over his tibia, we're gonna take ankle mobility out of this. So if you can step your heels back up onto there. And then now, keeping the upper body rigid, we're gonna try to get below parallel. So if you squat down for me. Good, and up. So now his femur is below parallel. And one more. Good, upper body in line with the tibia. And then we're gonna do it one more time. Squat down. Good, upper body with the tibia. And okay, that's the deep squat. All right, so our next test is going to be the hurdle step. So the hurdle step tests for proper balance, stability, and mobility of the hip, knee, and ankle in a movement. So in stepping motion, so it's similar to running mechanics. So if you could come up to the box, place your toes touching the box, and then we're going to place the bar on our shoulders, the bell rod on our shoulders. Now, using one leg, keeping our hips in line and our upper body rigid, upright, we're going to step over the hurdle. Let's do our right leg first. Right leg, and then touch the heel on the ground, and then back. Good. So the hips a little bit out of alignment. We'll do it again. Good. He doesn't lose control of balance. All right. Good. And now we're going to do the left leg. So if you step the left leg over and touch the heel on the ground, keeping in line and an upper rigid body. Go, and then one more, and return back. All right. All right, so next we have the inline lunge. The inline lunge tests rotational stability, and it also tests for hip, ankle, and knee mobility and stability. So I'm going to have you place the dowel rod on your back, one hand. So we want to keep it on our spine and touching our spine and our neck. One hand up there, one hand on your lower back. So you bring the hand down. And then we're going to step onto here, put one foot on, heel at the end of the board. Good. So I measured out right here based off his tibial tuberosity length. So from his toe to the tibial tuberosity is where I measured. So you're going to place your heel right there at that measurement. There, and then we're going to keep that other heel down. So we're going to squat, keeping an upright posture. You want to squat down and touch that knee behind your heel on the board. Go straight down, upright posture. Okay, good. And I lost the balance and return that heel. So we return the heel down. So let's get me one more on that leg. Remains in contact with the spine the whole time. Good. And then return back. Okay, now we're going to test the other leg. So we can switch our leg position where our feet are. Put that heel down. There's no pain in the movement, so we can continue the movement. All right, squat down, keep an upright posture. Dowel in contact with the back, touch that heel or touch that knee behind that back heel. All right, let's try to get that knee right behind the heel. So a little bit of loss of balance. Then we can sit up and try again. Okay. This time he gets the knee behind the heel and turns his heel back, and that's the inline lunge. All right, the next two tests we're going to do shoulder mobility, and then we're going to do the shoulder clearing test. So first I'm going to measure his hand length, so you can place your hand out for me. So his hand length is 24 centimeters, so we're going to test how close his hands get together behind his back. So if you raise one hand over your head, if you can face this way for me, raise one hand over your head, and then you're going to reach back, and then you're going to flex the other arm, trying to touch his fingers together, and it's well within one hand distance, so that is a perfect score on that. Now we're going to do the other one, so your left arm overhead, and then your right hand behind the back. This one a little less mobility over here. Still within the hand and a half, so he'll get a 2 on that one. The purpose of this is to obviously test shoulder mobility. All right, if you turn around for me, we're going to do the shoulder clearing test now. So you can place your right hand on your left shoulder, and then lift your elbow up. Is there any pain? No? Okay, now we'll do the same thing with the other shoulder. Lift on the right shoulder, and then lift your elbow up. Any pain? Nope, so he passed the shoulder clearing test as well. All right, so the active straight leg raise is going to measure hamstring flexibility and gastrocnemius, so the calf muscle flexibility. So I measured out 53 centimeters. So right here, this is where his ankle needs to be passed in order to get a perfect score. So I'm going to have you keep in contact with your right knee on the board. We're going to raise your left leg up, keeping the knee fully extended and the toes pointed up. All right, ready? Raise it. Okay. So right here, and then down. And we're going to try to get a little further this time if we can. Raise it. Okay, you got a little further that one. Okay, and then you can go down. Then I'm going to come get the other knee. So we're also testing for asymmetries between flexibility of the hamstrings on each leg. All right, you can raise the right leg, keeping the left knee down, keeping it straight. Okay, and raise it down, and then raise it back up. More flexibility here. All right, and then raise it down. And that's the active straight leg raise. Okay, so the next two tests are the rotary stability test and the spinal flexion clearing test. So we're testing his rotary stability and able to transfer force from the upper to lower extremities and prevent flexion and keep stability. So I'm going to have you, so I have my client right here with his shoulders and knees at 90 degrees and the board wedged in between. So I'm going to have you extend your right arm, or actually either arm, whichever arm you want to go first, your left, or the same arm and same leg. Fully extended out in front of you, keeping balance on you whenever you're ready. So kick the leg back and straighten out the arm at the same time. Okay, so a little bit of loss of balance there. So let's give it a try on the other one. Maybe you're a little more stable over there. All right, so loss of balance here. That's all right. So the modification we're going to do is opposite arm, opposite leg. So let's go. Let's extend your right arm and your right leg at the same time, keeping rigid torso. Good. So the back's flat here, and then give me one more rep on this side. Okay. Thank you. Return back to the middle. And then let's go the opposite arm and leg now. Good. And then we'll bring it in, and you want to touch your elbow to your knee. I forgot about that in the first one, so let's go that. So you're going to fully extend, left arm, right leg, and then you're going to bring it in, keeping a rigid torso, touching the elbow to the knee. So fully extend, and then flex it in, elbow touches the knee. Good. Rigid trunk, and then return back to extension. Good. All right, return, and let's go one more where I forgot at the beginning. Go to the right arm and left leg, so fully extend, arm and leg, and then flex it together, knee to elbow, and then extend, Good, and he keeps rigid torso throughout the movement, good stability, and then you can return to the starting position. Okay, so next I'm going to remove the board. Get this out of the way. We're going to do the spinal flexion clearing test. So now, basically what I'm going to ask you to do to see if you have pain in this movement or not, you're going to touch your chest to your knees, and you're just going to extend your arms out in front of you. Your chest doesn't have to touch your knees. You're going to let your chest drop towards your knees while your hands extend out in front of you. Good. Any pain in that movement?
No.
Okay, return to the top. Let's go one more time just to make sure. Any pain in the movement?
No.
Okay, you can get up. That's the spinal flexion clearing test. All right, so next we're going to do the trunk stability push-up test. So we're going to be testing, obviously, trunk stability and being able to transfer power through the upper body and to see if any asymmetries exist. So if you can get in the prone position, let's have our toes dorsiflex, so you're up on your toes, and then let's place our hands up where our thumbs are even with our forehead, parallel with our forehead, good. And then from here, you're going to keep in the upper body very rigid. In one fluid movement, you want to push up. Good, so he was able to do that, keeping the body rigid and going up in one movement. So return down, just have him do it one more time. Upper body rigid. There we go. So his back didn't sink. He came up in one motion, keeping the body rigid. You could relax. All right. So that was the trunk stability push-up test, and he got a perfect score on that. So next, the clearing test, which we wouldn't have to do, but I'm going to show you guys what it is anyways, is the prone push-up. So now he's going to do the same thing, except his hands are going to be brought in under his shoulders, and then he's going to push up, keeping his upper body rigid. All right. Whenever you're ready. Good. Turn back to the floor. And give me one more. Good. Was there any pain in that movement?
No.
No, so he had no pain in that movement, so he passed the clearing test there. And then that is the FMS screen. Thanks for watching.
Do I press stop?
What?
Do I press stop?
Yeah.